The Galactic Council Hall was built to impress. Its ceiling stretched like an artificial sky, glowing with the colors of 1,000 stars. Rows of seats curved around a central platform where the fate of worlds was discussed. Powerful empires sat there. Ancient races, conquerors, traders, rulers of systems that humans could not even count. And today, Earth stood among them. The human delegation was small. Just 3 figures in plain uniforms. No bright armor. No glowing symbols. No weapons on display. They stood quietly while the council murmured around them. At first, the room was silent. Then the laughter began. It started softly, like a ripple. A clicking sound from an insectoid race. A low rumble from a stone-skinned delegate. Then louder voices joined in. Soon, the great hall was filled with amusement. Humans? One alien said, his voice echoing. You mean the species that still argues over borders on one planet? Another leaned forward, eyes glowing with mock interest. They fight wars with outdated ships and call it bravery. Screens around the hall displayed images of Earth, old battles, crude rockets, soldiers marching in lines. Compared to the sleek fleets and planet-cracking weapons of the galaxy, it looked primitive. A tall avian delegate spread his wings slightly. They are divided, emotional, and inefficient. Why are they even here? More laughter followed. The humans did not respond. The council leader, an ancient being who had ruled for centuries, raised one claw. The noise slowly faded. Earth has requested recognition as a strategic equal, the leader said. They ask for protection rights under galactic law. This time, the laughter was louder. Protection? Someone shouted. From what? Their own kind? Another voice cut in. They barely control their own planet. How can they face real threats? The council leader looked at the humans. You may speak. The human ambassador stepped forward. He was older, with gray hair and tired eyes. His voice was calm, almost quiet. Humans are aware of how we appear, he said. We know our history looks chaotic. We know we are not the strongest race here. A few aliens smirked. But we have survived every age that tried to end us, the ambassador continued. We ask only for equal standing. Not dominance. Not control. A reptilian warlord laughed openly. Survival on one planet does not impress us. You have never faced true extinction. The ambassador nodded slowly. We hope we never have to. That answer caused another wave of laughter. The council leader leaned back. The request is denied, he said. Earth will remain classified as a minor, non-strategic world. A glowing symbol appeared above the platform. The decision was final. The human delegation bowed their heads. Slightly. They did not argue. They did not threaten. They turned and walked away. As they left the hall. The laughter followed them. Jokes were exchanged. Comments were made about how long humans would last once real danger reached their system. No one noticed what happened next. Far from the council, beyond the trade routes and bright cities of the galaxy, Earth received a message. Denied. On the surface of the planet, nothing changed at first. Cities continued to glow at night. People went to work. Children went to school. The world looked peaceful. But deep beneath the ground, systems woke up. Old facilities, sealed for generations, powered on. Codes that had not been used in centuries were unlocked. Messages moved through hidden channels. Human leaders did not speak to the galaxy. They spoke only to each other. Status? One asked in a dark room. Council response confirmed. Another replied. Classification remains minor. A pause followed. Then a simple command. Proceed with contingency protocols. Across Earth and its colonies, long-forgotten shipyards opened. Frames of massive vessels were revealed. Not shiny, not elegant, Built for one purpose only. Endurance. In the void near the human system. Sensors flickered as energy signatures briefly appeared, then vanished again. Too controlled to be panic. Too organized to be fear. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, the laughter had already moved on to another subject. Another weak species. Another easy joke. No one thought about Earth anymore. They believed. Silence meant acceptance. They believed quiet meant defeat. They did not understand. One simple truth. Humans had learned long ago that not every response needed words. Sometimes, silence was just preparation. The galaxy moved on quickly. New trade routes opened. Old wars continued. Powerful empires argued over borders and resources. The laughter about humans faded into memory, replaced by fresh targets and new jokes. To the galaxy. Earth was finished business. That belief became their first mistake. At the edge of human-controlled space. Far from Earth's core worlds, there was a small colony called Haven 9. It was not rich. It was not important. The colony existed to grow food and mine basic materials. Families lived there. Engineers, teachers, children who had never seen Earth. The colony had no real defenses. That was why it was chosen. An alien raiding fleet arrived without warning. They belonged to a minor but aggressive empire that wanted to prove its strength. Attacking a human colony seemed safe, easy. A message to the rest of the galaxy. Their commander did not even bother to contact the colony. Erase it, he ordered. Let the galaxy watch. Energy weapons burned through orbiting stations. Communication arrays vanished in seconds. The colony tried to send distress calls, but the signals were jammed. On the surface, people looked up as the sky turned bright and loud. There was no battle, only destruction. When it was over, Haven 9 was silent. Its cities were gone. Its lights were dark. The raiding fleet left without losses, broadcasting the footage across galactic channels. The reaction was exactly what they expected. Laughter. Humans again. Commentators said. They cannot protect even their own. Some praised the attackers for their boldness. Others joked that Earth would complain, then do nothing. No warnings came from human space. No fleets moved. No angry speeches filled the networks. Earth was quiet. Too quiet. On Earth, the footage played in secure rooms. Leaders watched without speaking. Military commanders stood still. Scientists stared at the screens. There was no shouting. No panic. No public reaction at all. The decision had already been made long ago. Deep under the surface of Earth, massive doors opened. Power systems that had been idle for centuries came online. Old symbols lit up on walls carved with names and dates from forgotten wars. A human officer spoke softly. Contingency threshold reached. Another nodded. Confirmed. Colony loss verified. A third voice followed. Protocol restraint is lifted. Across human space, hidden shipyards began to move. They were not designed for speed of construction. They were designed to last. Thick armor plates slid into place. Engines tested at low power, then shut down again. These ships did not shine. They did not intimidate. With size alone, they were built with one lesson in mind. Humans had learned that survival meant preparing for the worst day, not the best one. Back in the galaxy, the raiding fleet returned home as heroes. Their commander stood proudly before his rulers. The humans did nothing, he said. They are weak. His rulers agreed. Plans were made for future raids. More colonies. More resources. No one noticed the reports coming in from deep space sensors. Strange readings. Brief energy spikes. Movements that did not match known trade patterns. When analysts questioned them, the data was dismissed. Probably old human junk, one official said. They like to hide broken machines. The Galactic Council did not even meet to discuss the attack. Humans were not considered important enough. Weeks passed, then months. Earth still said nothing. No threats. No demands. No calls for justice. The galaxy relaxed. That was the second mistake. On a distant human moon, a single ship lifted from an underground dock. It moved slowly, without lights. Its engines burned clean, almost invisible. As it entered deep space, others followed. Not hundreds. Not thousands. Just enough. Each ship carried the same simple message in its core systems. A line written in old human language. "Ye will not be." Erased. The galaxy still. Believed Earth had accepted its place. Believed humans had learned fear. They did not understand what had really happened. Haven 9 was not just a colony. It was a line, and the galaxy had crossed it. The first sign that something was wrong did not come from a battlefield. It came from silence. Along a busy trade corridor near the border of human space, merchant ships began to vanish. No distress calls, no debris fields. Just empty routes where traffic should have been constant. At first, the losses were blamed on pirates. Then a patrol fleet from the same empire that destroyed Haven 9 entered the corridor. They never returned. Sensors recorded a few strange details before going dark. Massive shadows. Gravity distortions. Energy readings that did not match any known weapon. The reports reached the Galactic Council. This time, the room was not full of laughter. Commanders argued. Analysts compared data. Some suggested the humans were involved. The idea was dismissed. "Impossible," one delegate said. "Humans do not have that capability." While they debated, the truth moved closer. Human warships emerged from deep space like mountains drifting through darkness. Their hulls were thick and dark, scarred by design. No glowing markings, no banners, no attempt to impress. They did not announce themselves. They did not issue warnings. The first target was a military outpost near the trade corridor. It was heavily armed by galactic standards. Shields flared as sensors detected incoming objects. Too late. Human weapons did not overload the shields. They crushed them. Gravitational pulses folded defensive lines inward. Precision strikes followed, calm and measured. Power cores were disabled. Command centers went silent. The outpost fell in under 2 minutes. Survivors sent broken messages filled with panic. "They are not stopping," one officer cried. "They are ignoring standard rules." Human ships moved on. They did not chase civilians. They did not destroy cities. Every strike was focused. Every target was military. This confused the galaxy more than fear ever could. Other empires rushed fleets to the region. Dozens of ships formed defensive lines. Confident in their numbers and advanced weapons. They engaged the humans together. That was their third mistake. Human ships did not rush forward. They waited. As enemy weapons fired. Human defenses absorbed the attacks without flashing shields or dramatic explosions. Armor cracked. Systems rerouted. The ships kept moving. Then the humans returned fire. Not in bursts. Not in panic. One target at a time. Enemy ships lost engines, then weapons, then power. They drifted, helpless, as human vessels passed them without finishing them off. The message was clear. This is not a battle. One alien commander realized too late. This is a demonstration. Across galactic networks, fear replaced laughter. Footage spread faster than any official statement. Species that once mocked Earth now whispered its name. Old historians began to speak. They found records buried in forgotten archives. Stories of early human conflicts. Of wars where humans fought themselves almost to extinction and learned terrible lessons from it. One line appeared again and again in those records. When humans fight without limits, survival becomes optional. The Galactic Council finally issued a call. They asked Earth to explain its actions. The response came not from a politician, but from a single human ship, broadcasting on an open channel. This response was delayed by choice, the voice said. Calm, controlled, human. We were silent because we hoped restraint would be enough. The message paused. Restraint has failed. No threats followed. No demands. The broadcast ended. Human fleets stopped advancing. They held their positions. The galaxy waited, shaking, unsure of what would come next. They now understood the truth that had been hidden behind laughter and silence. Humans had never been weak. They had been careful. And now they were done holding back. Asterisk. The galaxy had never known fear like this. For centuries, power had been measured in fleet size, weapon glow, and how loudly a species could threaten its enemies. Now, none of those things mattered. Human ships waited in silence, and that silence pressed on every system like a heavy weight. The Galactic Council reconvened in emergency session. The same hall, the same seats, but this time no one laughed. Delegates who once mocked Earth now avoided each other's eyes. Military advisors whispered urgent reports. Borders were collapsing, not because humans were conquering them, but because fear was spreading faster than any fleet. Human ships had stopped at key locations, not near capitals, not above worlds full of civilians. They positioned themselves near shipyards, command hubs, and military choke points. Every empire understood the message. Humans could end this, and they were choosing not to. A request was finally sent to Earth. Not a demand, not an order, a plea. The human delegation returned to the council hall. This time, they were not ignored. Security escorts lined the path, not to control them, but to protect them. Every eye followed the humans as they stepped onto the central platform. The same ambassador stood there, older, tired, but steady. The council leader spoke first. Earth has demonstrated unexpected strength. The council wishes to understand your intentions. The ambassador looked around the room, at the faces that once laughed. Our intention was never revenge, he said. It was remembrance. Confusion spread across the hall. Haven 9 was not important to you, he continued, but to us it was home. When you laughed at our loss, you reminded us of something we had tried to forget. He paused. We tried to leave war behind. We chose peace, cooperation, and restraint. You mistook that choice for weakness. No one interrupted him. We did not come to rule you, the ambassador said. We did not come to erase you. He raised one hand, and a hologram appeared, the image of Haven 9, before the attack. Children running, workers laughing, simple lives. We came to draw a line. The council leader swallowed. And if that line is crossed again? The ambassador's voice did not change. Then the silence will not return. A new agreement was proposed within hours. Human space was reclassified. Attacks on human worlds were declared acts of collective aggression. Warning zones were established around Earth and its colonies. For the first time in recorded history, the galaxy adjusted its laws because one species demanded respect, not dominance. Human fleets withdrew slowly, not in victory parades, not in celebration. They simply left. In the systems they had passed through, alien crews repaired disabled ships. Survivors told stories of calm human voices, precise fire, and mercy where none was expected. Across the galaxy, schools changed their lessons. Humans were no longer listed as a minor species. Military academies studied their strategy in silence. The jokes disappeared. On Earth, there were no celebrations either. Memorials were built for Haven 9. Names were carved into stone. Flags were lowered. The war machines returned to their hidden docks. Systems powered down. Protocols were sealed once more. Humans went back to living, but the galaxy did not forget. Whenever a rising empire laughed at a smaller world, someone would speak up. Remember Earth. Whenever a commander considered an easy target, someone would hesitate. Remember the silence. The joke ended not with conquest, but with understanding. The galaxy learned too late what humans had always known. Peace